Good evening, Kavibal, and welcome to our Happy Homeschool special Facebook Live learning session. For the discussion tonight, the topic would be on flexible learning in Zanuna, maximizing learners' learning at home. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. Make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions on the comment box allotted during the session and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, ka-Vibal. And now, to proceed with our session this evening, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker. In Condensed, he worked as a college professor for both undergraduate and graduate levels at the Philippine Normal University, focused on module development, student, research, and extension programs from 2004 to 2009. Then he became the editor-in-chief of Aklat at Dunong Publishing from 2009 to 2011, where he was tasked to benchmark instructional materials in and from Singapore and contextualize it to the Philippines setting. After that, he was taken by the Department of Education Central Office as consultant, designer, and writer for the K-12 program for Universal Kindergarten and English curriculum, and evaluator for technology and livelihood education modules for grades 7 and 8. Also, he was taken as consultant and writer for English 3 module, which was to serve as a model for all modules development for English grades 4 to 6. In 2014, he was taken in by the United States Assistance for International Development, or the USAID, as language consultant through RTI PhilEd data in the contextualization of early grade reading assessment for grade 3 and early grade assessment for mathematics assessment for Waray-Waray language, which are now commonly known as early language, literacy, and numeracy assessments for grade 1. After this, he was taken in by the Educational Assessment Division as consultant in the development and validation of National Entry Assessment for grade 4, 7, and 11, and exit assessment for grade 6, 10, and 12 on campus journalism program of the Department of Education. While having all of these independent consultancy projects in DepEd and other school and other private schools associations in the country, he was serving the Sisters of Mary Schools Philippine Administrative Research and Development Center as their academic and curriculum consultant. Moreover, he is one of the top 10 reading and preschool specialists in the Philippines and is a sought after resource speaker, lecturer, and consultant to various seminars and conferences here and abroad. He was one of the invited plenary speakers at the 50th Regional Language Center in Singapore with the theme Transcending Boundaries in Language Learning, Language Arts, and ELT across the curriculum. He has written various books, modules, letter review materials for Philippine Normal University and other colleges and universities all over the country. He graduated with the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education degree, cum laude, and a certificate in reading specialization, recipient of Service and Leadership Award. He received his Master of Arts in Teaching with specialization in reading at the Philippine Normal University Outstanding Reading Graduate. He took PhD in Reading Education at PNU and took PhD in English Studies units at the University of Santo Tomas, Manila, and now finishing PhD in Curriculum and Instruction at the Philippine Normal University, Manila. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our speaker for tonight, Brother Roderick Aguirre, PhD.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to greet everyone. I think the weather here in Cavite right now is really good. It's not raining, but I think in other places in the Philippines, it's already raining, and well, at least it's a good thing. And when it rains, the atmospheric pressure and temperature would lower down, and you would feel better. But right now, I'm still sweating because the weather is really warm here in Cavite. But before I proceed with my presentation this evening, I would like to give a shout out to my Ate Gingging, Ate Olivia Ubos po uh, from Maasin sa Maasin ba? Or you're from Southern Leyte. And then my Kuya Inay Dicen and Ate Marites from Sorsogon. And of course to Ma'am Shelo Valenzuela from Benedictine Institute of Learning. And then we have Abraham Kyle. Hey, Abraham Kyle, it was a good presentation that you had yesterday during the Super Schools presentation. Abraham Kyle Robbie and Casas from Nueva Ecija. And Mary Ann Ramos from San Pablo. And Anne Sevilla, of course, my classmate, former classmate back way back at PNU, and is now working at with Vibal. So hi, shout out to you. And then of course to Ma'am Rena Marie Tobias Gregor is tuning in right now. Just saw your comment. Good evening po, Sir Ricky. So good evening everyone. So I'll be talking about the second topic on positive discipline that we can implement at home. Last time we talked about positive discipline via home scheduling, which I suppose most schools can use that. When you come up when you come up with your orientation with the parents, it would be nice if you give them an idea that for them to come up with a good home schedule in order to create a good atmosphere for their children at home, because it is difficult for uh, to to make their children learn at home when they see the home as still their home and not part of the learning environment. So scheduling is very important. We discussed that um, last Wednesday, and now we're going to talk about positive discipline via development of executive functions. All right. So let me share my slides to you tonight. And there are about 8 executive functions, though, but I'll be discussing only 2. There were attendees this Wednesday, just this Wednesday, that if I could, discuss thoroughly about the modules that Vibal has, so that they would know how it's used and they will be able to decide whether they're going to adopt that during the school year. So I prepared, a lot of slides, numerous slides for how to use and what the strengths of the Vibal modules homeschool materials. All right, so here's my slide. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's just go back to, all right. So this is still part of my positive discipline in everyday teaching and learning. And this is more of to help our educators and our parents be able to hurdle some of the challenges that you will be encountering this coming school year. And it would be nice for us here at Vibal that we could be partners with you if you have some questions. And if you want some topics that we can discuss, you may want to write in, key in the message so that we can, sift through it and then come up with a plausible way of delivering them back to you by either this time or a time that is available for most of you guys. So today or tonight, we'll talk about positive discipline through executive functions and development. I know most educators are already well versed with the executive functions, especially when you took developmental psychology and introduction to psychology way back in your undergraduate, or if you took your MA. Some have already been discussed on executive functions development. And for parents right now, it may be new to you, but this is really important for us to develop these executive functions among our students, so they become self-propelling, gratifying, independent learners. So to start with, I would like you to answer the following questions in your head. Just, I don't see you. I don't know if you can answer this, but let's answer the following questions. If you fail, and if I say, if you have problems with each of these questions, I'll give a little bit of a summary of the results. So say question number 1, do you have trouble starting and or completing tasks? Or let's make it more of like for your children and students. You see some of your children and some of your students having trouble starting and completing tasks, like they do not know how to begin, or probably they would rather do something first before doing the major task, like instead of doing, or instead of studying first, they would they would open other tasks instead of the task at hand. So if that's a problem, then that's also an executive problem. That means your kids or your learners somehow failed to acquire the executive functions at a very young age. Next question would be, do you have difficulty prioritizing tasks? Like in my case, before I proceed to this week, I make sure that I have a list of things that I have to do. And then I know that I have webinars during the week. I make sure that Sunday I'm already done with it. I prioritize a task based on what I think is more important. Like in my work, I know that the webinars are very important because for me, it's now a need for all teachers and parents to listen to this. But it depends. Prioritizing means we know what's important for us, and the list of priorities will be different from one student to another, from one individual to another. The point is that have we learned to write down what we want to do this week, or if you are a more meticulous kind of person, you have already your schedules for the whole quarter or for the whole year. I already have my schedule for the whole year. I call it as a fixed schedule. Some of the, I call it as a consultancy schedules. And then I have what I call as my responsibilities in my confraternity, in my congregation, and so on and so forth. So the point here, if you have problems with the listing of what you're supposed to accomplish, and what you do is you just, come one may, bahala na lang kung ano mangyari. Bukas, pagising ko, pakain, hindi ko ano na lang mangyari. That means you have problems with some of the executive functions. All right? Let's have the third question. Do you easily forget what you just heard or read? Meaning like you're watching television perhaps, or you're conversing with a friend, and you keep, what's that again? I didn't get that the first time. If you have problems like getting and grasping some of the information, that's also one of the problems with not acquiring executive functions. But I think for the parents right now, who've been bombarded by their parents before to memorize, do oral memorization, I think you don't have any problems with this. But for kids right now, especially the young ones who've been into gadgets, I think they have problems with this. Pag tinatawag mo nga, di ba, there are parents who would call ng anak nila, anak, 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 or call them by name, by their names. It's difficult to call them by the names, and as if they have not heard you. Like, bingi-bingihan ang dating. So this is one of the many problems though. That hindi yan, ang kasalanan kasi nito ay hindi lang siguro natin na-develop ang executive functions na to. We'll go there later on. Next would be, do you have trouble following directions or a sequence steps? Ang mga bata ba may, especially for like in this coming homeschooling, this coming school year, independent students will be doing independent learning activities at home. Dapat marunong silang sumunod kung anong binibigay doon sa, it's either the module or the online. Pag hindi, nagkaroon tayo ng problema sa pagpapalaki. Hindi ko na sinasabi malaking problema. Siguro hindi lang po natin na-utilize. Especially for the working parents, it's a huge problem kung iniwan po natin ang ating mga anak sa mga yaya. I have nothing against the yayas because they have a lot of responsibilities at home too. Pero syempre, they are not educators. So maaaring hindi nila natutukan ang ginawa lang ay pag-diaper, paglinis ng diaper, pagpadede, pagpatulog, and so on and so forth. Pero hindi naturuan na, okay, baby, ganito ang pagsuot ng damit. So instead, ang magandang practice kasi dito, dapat tinuruan ng bata na sila ang gagawa. Yung tuturuan mo sila kung paano magbihes, hindi ikaw yung magbibihes. Although at a very young age, ikaw talagang magbibihes. Pero while you're doing that with your kids, importante po na sinasabi nyo, okay, baby, ay taas ang kamay, okay, we're now going to pull down by your head, through your head, ang t-shirt or damit mo. Ganito ang pagsusot, ha? Okay? Next time, ikaw na ang gagawa. Mga ganun. So step by step ang tawag. If one way or the other, ang mga yaya natin ay sila na mismo gagawa para sa mga bata. Kasi siguro marami pang ginagawa sa bahay nila. Now, if there are parents who are have a lot of time, they do that, then kudos to you. Good, very good that you're doing an extra mile to pay attention to the needs of your children. Next would be, do you panic when rules or routine change? Ikaw ba yung klase ng tao pag nagbagong schedule, inis na inis ka na, pag may na-late, inis na inis ka na, at kahit anong sabihin ng kaibigan mo na na-late siya ng 15 minutes na, kasi nasagasaan ako. I mean, just kidding naman, grabe naman nasagasaan. Didiretso pa rin sa date or what. Nasagasaan kasi kung tinan mo, may mga sugat-sugat ako dito, but I try my best to come over because I know you get irritated when people get late. My point here is that ikaw ba yung at least kahit pa paano, you're open, you're flexible to change and understanding that your situation is different from other people's situation. Ibig sabihin, natutunan ba ng bata mag-empathize with other people because, situations from one person to another would definitely change. And there's what we call as listening to the reasons of other people. The reasons may be nonsensical to us, not acceptable, but it may be important for them. All right? Ang problema ng isang tao, maaaring para sa atin magaan, pero sa kanila mabigat na yun. So we cannot say it's not important. So this question here, and if you have a problem on that, again, do you have problems with executive functions? What I'm trying to say here is that it's very important for adults to analyze themselves if they have acquired executive functions, because again, executive functions are taught to kids and to your teenagers at home. So it's very important for us. So again, kagaya ng sinabi na ni Kuya Ini sa akin, ang message sa akin, at saka message sa comments, it starts from within. Okay, nanggagaling yan sa mga magulang, nanggagaling yan sa mga uncle, tiyo, tiya, sa mga grandparents, sa mga teachers. And if they do not have that, again, it's futile to think that the kids would have executive functions developing. Seventh question. Do you get overly emotional and fixate on things? Halimbawa, ang dami mong tinatago sa bahay, yung mga plastic, o kaya yung may mga damit ka na ang dami-daming damit, pero sabihin, ito, yung like sentimental value, not able to let go of it. Ang nangyayari ito, nagkakaroon ng hoarding. So this is what we call as fixation. I used to have that when I was in college. I used to hoard over books. So meron akong fixation sa novels. I keep on reading lots of novels. Although ngayon nakokontrol ko na. I used to call myself as book addict. So ang ginagawa ng mga kaibigan ko nun is nililis ako kasi from UP Diliman, sasakay kami ng Philcoa. Sa Philcoa may book sale doon. Pag nadadaan kasi ako doon, nauubos ang allowance ko para lang bumili ng mga libro. And then pag nakahawak na ako ng libro, hindi ko siya matatapos sa gabi, especially kung maganda talaga. So hindi pala yun maganda. So dapat alam ko as a person who has a purpose in life na kailangan hanggang dito lang kasi ganitong schedule ko eh. Hindi pwedeng ubusin ko yung oras ko, baka pagbukas, pagising ko, malate ako sa klase ko and so forth. I used to be that. But eventually, as we grow older, we get to realize that we need to adjust to some situations. And hindi kasi ang sitwasyon mag-a-adjust sa atin. It would always be people adjusting to the situation. So that's what we want our kids to learn via the executive functions. Sila ang mag-a-adjust sa mga sitwasyon. Right? The environment will remain constant, and then the people will be the ones adjusting to the environment. Nangyari nga sa atin, sinisira natin yung environment natin because that's what we want. Okay? So 8th question would be, do you have trouble organizing your thoughts? Like, especially for presentations, magkakasunod-sunod, hindi pwedeng yung anong gusto mo lang sabihin. Kasi syempre may nakikinig sa'yo, dapat mayroong certain outline of what you want to discuss. So dapat organize some thoughts and need not necessarily have to be written down, but you already organize that in your head. But in my case, I would use PowerPoint. I would have a list down. Mahilig po ako magsulat. I always have notebooks and so on and so forth. And even my cell phone, I have the notes. I have there always to remind me. And then what I do is that, of course, as we get older, I get to forget some of my schedules. So I have some alarm. I key in my cell phone alarms of the things I'm supposed to do at a certain time of the day. All right. So aware ako sa weakness ko na yon on this 8th question. So I do something about it. But if we are not aware we have a problem, then we're not able to do something about it. And if you're not able to identify that our kids have problem with following the schedule, doing things on their own, then at hindi natin acknowledge na kailangan ko gawan ng paraan, hindi natin natutulungan ng ating mga estudyante at mga anak natin na magbago. All right? Next, do you have trouble keeping track of your belongings? Ito yung, nawawala yung eyeglasses ko, yung pala nandito lang sa ulo, yung nakaganyan siya, sana yung glasses? Tapos sisisihin lahat ng tao, kaya mangyayari, lahat ng tao sa bahay, nabulabog na dahil hahanapin na yung pala nasa ulo lang niya. Kagaya ng lolo ko noon, hinahanap yung kanyang papel. Kasi mahilig yung lolo ko sa newspaper noon, sa bahay, usually nag-stay noon ng bata ako. Nandun pala, nilalagay niya dito yung pencil. Tapos galit na galit niya, nabulabog kami ng mga apo niya. Para lang, yung pala, nandun na, sabi ko, Lolo, nandyan po sa tenga niyo po. Tapos, kinuha niya, tapos balik siya sa work niya, nakalimutan na, nakasira siya ng mga ginagawa ng ibang tao. That's also one of the many problems with not developing executive functions at a really young age. And finally, the 10th question would be, do you have trouble managing your time? I think that's one of the many important things to do. Like, as an adult, kailangan pa bang maraming nagre-remind sa'yo of the things that you're supposed to do, like wake up? May mga anak ba kayo na nag-alarm na nga pero hindi pa rin gumigising? Nagising na lahat ng tao sa bahay sa alarm ng anak ninyo pero hindi yan nagigising. Aba, may problema. Kasi I think the alarm clock only supplements what's inside your head. Kasi minsan ikaw nakaalam sa utak mo, may body clock ka eh. Kung hindi lumaki ang bata na sanay na pagising ng ganong oras, talagang kahit anong sigurong ingay yan, hindi yan gigising. Kaya nga, siguro yung mga ka-generation ko, parang normal na sa ating gumising ng 5 o'clock. So sanay na sanay ka na. Kahit late ka na natulog sa gabi, gigising ka pa rin. Especially for the teachers who've been nasanay na magising sa ganang oras, they get used to it. And then more often than not, wala nang nauna pa sila magising kaysa sa alarm clock. So if you have that, then you have executive functions development already. So here are the executive functions though. I mean, the definition of executive functions. Executive function is a set of mental skills that include working memory, flexible thinking, and self-control. Ibig sabihin nun, ikaw na nag-correct ng sarili mo, ikaw na nag-monitor sarili mo bago ang ibang tao. Alright? Like a lot of people would rant on Facebook. Pero alam mo, ako nga, hindi ako makapag-rant sa Facebook kasi alam ko na this is personal, and then and other people, when pag pinablik ko yun, it becomes theirs. They have now the right to say something about it. So, importante na tayo mismo ang nagko-correct bago mag-correct ibang tao. So, ito yung kaya maraming mga tao na kahit anong correct ang gawin sa kanilang ibang tao, hindi nagbabago. Why? Because no matter how many people tell them that they're wrong, but if they see themselves that they are right, wala kang magagawa nun. So, importante sa atin na matutunan ng mga bata, i-analyze nila. So, do we have situation at like ginagawa ng mother ko noon, nang bago matulog? I don't know with my brothers daw, pero ako nung kasi ng bata, pag bago matulog, ang ginagawa ng mami ko is, papaharap niya ako, minsan ilalagay niya ako sa ibabaw ng nakasarado na gas range. Iangat niya ako doon, sabi niya, anong ginawa mo sa schools? Kasi nag-aaral ako ng elementary sa Divine Word University sa Tacloban, Leyte. Tacloban City. Anong ginawa mo sa buong araw? Ipapanarate niya sa akin kung ano nangyari. Ano mga ginawang kalokohan. Parang sabi ko, bakit kalokohan na ganun sinasabi ng mami ko? Ang bait-bait ko. O siguro maloko talaga ako ng bata. Sabihin niya sa akin and so on and so forth. Tapos, pag may ginawa akong mali, sasabihin niya, tama ba ang ginawa mo? Instead of saying, mali yun ha? Mali yung ginawa mo. So, sa executive functions daw, you do not tell the kids that it's wrong. You make them realize that it's wrong by saying, sa tingin mo, tama ba? Kung sila so, mami, hindi naman, kasi siya wait lang, sino bang nauna? Sabi ng mami ko, sino bang nauna? So, ang pagpapalaki sa amin ng mother ko is that hindi magkakaroon ng away kung hindi ka pumatol. Okay? Kasalanan mo kung ginawa ng kapatid mo, ang kasalanan to, dahil kapatid ka, dapat sinabihan mo ang kapatid mo. So, walang lusot. Ang way ng pagpapalaki sa amin is you realize first if you did something right, then good. If you did something wrong, bakit ka nagkamali? I-analyze mo at anong gagawin mo. Alright? So these are things that we can do at home, executive functions. Halimbawa, sa klase, minsan ang ginagawa ng mga report cards, ang gagawin naka-receive ng report card, tapos ang sisisihin ng teacher. Parents, unahin natin, tanongin mo ng ating anak, bakit ganito? Ganito ang grade mo? Anong ginawa mo? Kulang pa ba ang oras natin sa pagre-review and so on so forth? Hindi yung, ano ba to? Mga teacher niyo, wait. So ang ginagawa po natin is we are teaching our students not to be responsible of our actions but blaming other people. So on that note, parang ang nangyayari ay hindi natin tinuturuan ng bata na maging self-monitoring individuals, to be metacognitive, of realizing that everything that I do, what happens to me, one way or the other, I have part of it, not other people, the ones making me do something wrong. Okay, yan ang importanteng executive functions. Actually, in reality, executive functions is called our conscience. Paano nga, or ang tawag natin sa education nun, or sa panahon namin ay GMRs, tawag namin nun, meron pag homeroom, ay conscience development. So yan, it makes us develop our working memory, flexible thinking, and self-control. All right? So, we use these skills every day to learn, work, and manage daily life. Actually, ito yung sinasabi natin na hindi natuturo sa school. Ito yung dapat napapa-experience sa bata. Kaya nga routines are very important. House rules are very important. I know last time we talked about schedules, right? Home schedules. The second one based on the executive functions would be rules. Establish the rules, meaning there should be certain consequences. Halimbawa, yung pamangkin kong si UV noon, sabi ko, pag hindi ka nag-sorry, hindi ka kakain. Siguro, hindi ka makakasama sa pagkain sa amin sa lunch. Alright? O wala kang snacks. So, you take away some of, wag naman palo, siguro, agad-agad, na-resort agad to physical, although nung panahon natin, physical agad, binibitay pa kami ng mami namin, tapos yung ting-ting. But right now, kids are really, really intelligent. They can understand via communication and doing that. So, importante na meron kayong rules and regulations. Bahala kayo kung paano po ang gagawin nyo. Pwedeng bawas ang oras sa panonood ng TV, bawas sa gadget time, and so on and so forth. Pero wag physical kung hindi still on the schedule. So pag gumawa kayo ng rules, ang mga punishment ay doon pa rin kayo babalik sa schedule. So importante po yung topic natin last time na dapat naka-establish muna ng schedule, ng routine. And once the routines are there, now establish the rules. Clear rules. Hindi yung sinasabi na warning na ha. Second warning na. Third warning, hindi. Wala nang ganon. Kasi parang sinabi mo na okay lang, sige lang. I-test mo lang kami ng i-test. Okay? Dapat ang mali. Ang tama. Ganon yun. Okay? It's either black or white. Walang gray areas. Klarong-klaro dapat. If it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, it's no. Kaya maraming lumalaki ng mga individuals na minsan ang yes nila, iba ang meaning. Pag sinabi natin no, no. Halimbawa, like sa mga magjowa, na late kunwari ang jowa na late kunwari, sabi niya, kasi nag-ano pa ako na traffic. Okay ka lang. Sige, okay lang ako. Hindi ako galit. Di ba? Hindi daw galit, pero yung mukha, galit, tapos nagdadabog. Ba't ka nagdadabog? Hindi, okay lang ako. Huwag mo ko pansinin. Ano ba talaga? I mean, that's why a lot of people make things complicated because hindi natin natutunan na pag oo, pag hindi. Diretsahin na natin ang usapan natin. Right? Well, that's how it is. Okay? Let's make life simple and don't complicate it. So, trouble with executive function can make it hard to focus, follow directions, and handle emotions among other things. Ito yung mga, especially yung mga tao na highly emotional, nagsasalita lang na at sinasabihan lang na, oy, mag-aral ka naman, kasaktan na agad. O next time ha, mag-aral ka ulit, uwi sa bahay, mama, sabi sa akin ni teacher, bobo daw ako. Hala, inano lang sinabihin na mag-aral, bobo na agad. I mean, nasusobrahan kasi. Minsan kasi yung dahil nga hindi natin naturuan ng bata na maging independent and to take information as it is. Okay? Naiba ang kahulugan ng mga sinasabi ng mga tao. Tapos sasabihin naman ng nanay at tatay, sinabi ng teacher na yan, bukas yan, pupuntahan ko yung teacher na yan. Huwag naman. Dapat ang ginagawa ng magulang ay, ano bang sinabi ng teacher mo? Sige. Tapos sabihin ng anak, palaging, hindi, si teacher naman ang inyong inaanan. Hindi anak, ikaw pa rin ang kakampihan natin, pero kailangan natin malaman ano ba talaga ang nangyari. Ngayon, kung gusto mong sumugod sa school, huwag ibang mag-awa. Sabi na, teacher, umuiyak kasi kagabi ang anak ko eh. Hindi yung, ikaw na teacher ka ha, nagtitinda ka sa ano, kung ako pa lang, konsyel pa naman ako sa barangay natin, tatanggalan kita ng lisensya. Huwag naman ganon. Let's try to make ours, kung ano ang behavior natin, hindi kasi nakukuha ng mga bata eh. So, we need to handle emotions. The more emotions that our students are at play at school, hindi nila maintindihan ang mga sinasabi ng mga adults especially. So, importante po na matutunan na mag-control ng emotions because once you're able to control that, we're able to focus more on things that are more important than the other things that we're supposed to. All right? So, for today, we'll just talk about two executive functions. We'll talk about response inhibition. Yan po ang number one kasi ang pinaka-importante na unang-una natin ma-develop sa mga bata yung response inhibition. Alright? It says the capacity to think before you act, this ability to resist the urge to say or do something allows us the time to evaluate a situation and how our behavior might impact it. So ito yung sinasabi na, sabi ng bata, Mama, matutulog na po ako ngayon, ayoko kasi mag-aral. Kung hindi ka mag-aral, ano mangyayari sa'yo? Eh kung bumagsak ka, yung tinuturuan, yung by talking to your child, sa mga anak ninyo, na yung gusto nilang masusunod, na hindi nila gagawin yung dapat gagawin, huwag mo sabihin, sige, huwag mong gawin ha, pero huwag mo kong sisisihin. Huwag ganun. Kausapin mo anak, kausapin mo yung anak, ganito yan, sige. Kung hindi mo gagawin, hindi yan mawawala. Okay? Madadagdagan lang yung trabaho mo. Sorry naalala ko tuloy yung mami ko. Kasi nga, meron kaming, ako may schedule na maghugas ng pinggan. So, mangyayari, ay, mami, bukas ko na lang pumugasan ng pinggan yan. Eh, syempre, nakatoka sa akin. Sabi, ikaw, pero pag gising mo bukas, meron ka, nandyan pa rin yan. Walang gagawa niyan para sa'yo. So, huwag ka magreklamo bukas ng umaga kung ang trabaho mo nandyan pa rin. So, conversation-wise. So, by doing this, I get to realize, oh nga naman, no, sa at least pagising ko bukas ng umaga, wala na akong hugasan, ligo na lang ako. So it makes me think. So, response inhibition is the ability for every individual to think first before acting out. Anong consequences ng mga actions ko? Hindi yung gagawin muna, tapos later on would say sorry. Wait, anong tawag natin doon? Okay, importante yan sa response inhibition. Okay, so what are the things that we can do? All right. So, example po, mga samples po naman nangyayari sa mga bata. In the young child, waiting for a short period without being disrupted is an example of response inhibition. Yung pagsunod sa oras ng mga activities sa time schedule nyo is already developing inhibition. Pag sinabing 9 o'clock manunood, huwag mong sabihin, Mama, tapos na po ako ng gagawin ko, pero hindi pa po 9 o'clock, pero tapos ko na po gawin. Pwede bang mauna na ako manood? Hindi, no. Baby, pag sinabi natin 9 o'clock po tayo. Ngayon, kung natapos mo na ginagawa mo, check mo ulit, baka may mali. Ngayon, kung tama na lahat, edi, pwede kang mag-advance or review mo yung mga lessons mo last time. Yung ganon. Hindi, sige lang, gawin mo. So, pag ginawa mo yun, you're the ones destroying the schedule that you created with your child. In adolescent, it would be demonstrated by accepting referee's call without an argument, or ito yung mag-study siya o gagawa ng assignment na hindi nakakatulong. Okay? Ginagawa niya, tatapusin ko to para wala na akong gagawin. O yung gagawin nila, bukas ko na lang gagawin ito. So these are some of the inhibitions that we want our students to learn. Okay? The executive function. So ano mang environmental modification that we should do? I'm sorry. 1, increase external controls. Ito pagsasabi na, pag may ginawa ng tama ang bata, pag-praise tayo, ang galing-galing naman. Very good. That's my big boy. That's my big girl. Ang galing naman ni ate. Okay, may pasalubong ka sa akin. So, wag naman too much ng mga, palaging merong mga toys or palaging mga may bibigay ka. Ako kasi, sinanay ko yung mga very good, very good. May halik ka kay uncle, may hug ka kay uncle, yung mga ganyan. So, more of like, praising. Mas maganda po yun. Although, okay din magbigay ng mga regalo later, pero sana kung magbigay ka ng regalo, siguro mga quarter, results ng quarter, semester grades, naka-honor, medyo mataas lang ng konti. Next, you have restrict access. Ibig sabihin, pag sarado ang pintuan, huwag bubuksan. Kailangan mag-knock muna 3 times, hindi yung pagmamayari mo lahat. So, dapat na, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo nakahap ng Wednesday na, pag sinabi mo ito yung mga parts ng bahay itong gagawin, dapat yung magkasama doon ng restrictions. This is what we call as the regular house rules. Okay? So, restrict access. Kailan lang gagamitin. Then, post home or classroom rules and review regularly. Ang sinasabi mo ngayon mga rules. So, nalalagay nyo yung rules. Sinabi nyo sa mga bata, and then merong nakapaskil. Again, remember, we are not on a regular school setup. Our students are at home. We have converted our home into a learning environment. So therefore, whatever approximations of learning atmosphere there is in a school, it must be also approximated at home. Kung anong library, dapat kunwari meron silang library area and so on and so forth. I don't know how you're going to do that. It could be just a corner where the books are located and so on and so forth. Para lang masanay din po mga bata. Alright? Advising strategies, okay? Prompt the learner, external, internal. Kung sabi ko, always, anak, kaya mo yan. Anak, kaya mo. Hindi yung papagalitan na, sige, pag hindi mo yan ginawa, pag hindi mo yan nakatikim ka sa akin, wag naman gano'n. Like, by saying na yung, I call it, my students, I think, would remember the cliche that I always tell them, parents and teachers must have the patience of an angel and the enticing power of a devil. Diba? Remember that. And prompt the learner or your children You must have the patience of an angel and the enticing power of the devil. So pag sinabi po natin na patience, alam po natin minsan paulit-ulit. Sabihin, paulit-ulit na lang yan. Ganun talaga ang role ng teacher, ganun talaga ang role ng nanay at mga magulang. Talagang paulit-ulit yan hanggang makita mong sila nang gumagawa. Hindi ka mag-stop ng pagsabi, pag-remind sa kanila hanggat hindi mo nakita na may kusa na po sila. Minsan nga matanda na, wala pang kusa. So hanggang doon. Okay? Minsan tumanda na tayo. No? Another one would be yung enticing power. Yung parang, tinamang mga demonyo. I'm not saying I'm a devil myself. I could be sometimes. Na yung magsabi, sige baby, kaya mo yan. Ayan na baby, ayan na, ayan na, ayan na. Yan, yan, ang galing naman, ang ganda naman. Sabi ko sa'yo matalino ka eh. Ibang tao ang tawag doon ng pangguguyo. But to me, it's called as giving more external motivation for your children. All right? Mas maganda po yun. Teach. Teach, wait, stop. Sandali lang. Sandali lang. Sandali lang. Mga ganyan. Wait lang. We call this as educational process, important process. Hindi yung sige lang ng sige, ng sige, ng sige. Alam mo mga bata po naman natin na pag sige lang ng sige. You must have them like, stop muna, wait muna, isipin muna kung anong gagawin, baka magkamali tayo dyan, and so on and so forth. So processes are very important as in developing inhibitions. All right? Teach delayed gratification. Okay? Yung, mama kasi gutom na ako, wait, alas 3 pa natin snack time, mamaya na bebe. O mamaya alas 7 pa tayo kakain, sabay-sabay tayo kakain. Hindi, mauna na ako mama. Yun yung mga nasanay tayo na sige, bahala kayo kumain ko nung gusto yung oras. That is not, it's not a good practice to develop executive functions. Discourage multitasking. Although as you get older, multitasking is good. Pero ang sinasabi ko multitasking is that hindi pa kaya ng bata. They are not yet cognitively mature. Nang gagawin po ay nagte-text tapos nag-study. Pwede ba yun? Kakayanin ba yung nagte-text habang nag-study? Nagluluto habang nag-study. Alright? And magkakaroon po, there would be one task that would be compromised. But ano pa sila? They're still young, so multitasking is they cannot yet do multitasking though. Although there are some kids who are highly developed, pwede po yun yung mga creative and so on. So, pwede po. Kailan siguro iba na yung kanilang activities. Meron na po siguro kayo mga itinerant teachers who would come in to help them, especially for those who are genius. Iba na po yun. Pero pag sinabi po natin mga within the norm po ang ating mga bata, huwag muna mag-multitasking. So, one task at hand is very important to develop this skill. All right. Next would be working memory. So, second point is working memory. The ability to hold information in memory while performing tasks. It incorporates the ability to draw on past learning or experience to apply the situation at hand or to protect into the future. So maganda ang mga activity, yung review. Doing review in online modules and doing in your module. Kaya importante pag nag-develop teachers, pag nag-develop kayo ng materials, at kailangan i-connect ang lesson na to sa previous lesson no matter how long it was before. Kung sumula ba, grade 7 yan, tapos yung lesson na kailangan nito ay nasa grade 4, you have to make the students recall that. So dapat mayroon ka lang sa ito. In your grade 4, you learned that. Ganon. Dapat nakalagay doon because such element in your materials makes your students enhance their working memory. Memorization is also one strategy to make our students' working memory strong and become better. Okay. Another one would be talking about it. Halimbawa, television time. Talk about it. So kunwari commercial na. Ano nangyari? So talking about what you read, talking about what your children watched over the television would be something that would improve the working memory. So importante po na kinakausap talaga ang ating mga anak, ang mga estudyante natin. Although sa school kasi magagawa yan ng teacher na kausapin o like sinasabi po natin na okay, let's watch a short film first, then and be guided with the following questions. Right? Pagkatapos ng film showing, i-discuss yan ng teacher, tapos si teacher nandun. At home dapat ganoon din kasi ngayon. So pag may pinapanood sila, dapat si nanay o si tatay or yung primary caregiver nandun, sasabihin na, nanay, dapat sasaluhin nyo agad. Sabi nyo, okay, ito yung guide questions dito. So the guide questions in the module or in the online materials could be also some points for the parents for them to converse, to connect, to communicate with the children given the kind of activity they have in the schedule of the day. All right. So that would help your kids in developing their working memory. So it says here that a young child, an example, a young child, for example, can hold in mind and follow 1 to 2 step directions, while the middle school can remember expectations of multiple teachers. So yung pag-hold ng information. So listening, actually listening comprehension is very important. Although I may have a session on listening comprehension development next week. It could be on Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure though, but I'm pretty sure I have developing listening comprehension to develop literacy next week. So you may want to tune in that to develop working memory. Please tune in on that webinar next week. So these are the environmental modifications you can come up with at home. So ito po yung use orthotic memory devices. So, sinasabi po natin na gumamit po, I don't know, for the parents kasi kailangan po ng mga, you need a training on graphic organizers. Teachers know graphic organizers, right? Mga cause-effect relationship and so on. So kailangan po yung mga devices na yon. Mnemonic devices, kailangan po mga acronyms and so on and so forth. So if you want to read more on orthotic memory devices, you may want to go to Google it. Marami po yun. Or you can pwede i-develop po ng mga teachers ang kanilang modules na ang lesson po nila bago magsimula mayroong graphic organizer and then it ends with a graphic organizer to summarize what they have learned within the lesson or modules. Our modules in the Sisters of Mary, we have that. We have the graphic organizer before na para masanay na ang bata na ito kanyang aralin, then read input, and then afterwards there's a graphic organizer to summarize everything. So ginagamit po namin to improve our learners' working memory. Next would be principle of offloading. These are the things that you can use at home for offloading. Agenda books and calendars, very important. You have calendars at home, what to do, to-do lists, very important. Electronic devices. So do not assume that your kids would remember everything. Kahit nga tayo matatalino na, wow, kinonsider ko talaga matalino talaga. Okay, I'll just accept as it is. Matalino tayo, kailangan natin din ng reminder. It's either a calendar, a checklist on the wall. It could be the cell phones that would remind us what we're supposed to do, and so on and so forth. So some of the applications you can download on your cell phones, and if your teenagers have cell phones already, you can have Wonderlist, Nudge, and Bug Me. So you may want to download these applications, and I think they are for free. It's kind of like your calendar on your cell phone or your clock on your cell phone, and you just key in some of the things that you do, and then it would remind you, would give you a ring to remind you of the things that you're supposed to do. All right, so advising strategy, directions, past experiences, basically still talking with your children, talking with your students. Next would be general options for reminders and have them choose and list options from learners. Especially for making the schedule, dapat kausap ng mga bata. Silang nakakaalam kung kailan nila gusto gawin yan. Okay? Once decided, they have to stick with it. Okay? Next, mentally rehearse association between cue and working memory. There are children when they study, when they study or when they read, they want music. Some of them are tapping their pencil. Some of them are yung panahon namin, meron kaming towel na ganito, ginaganan-ganyan, and so forth. Don't think that these are distractions for them. For some, nakakatulong yun sa mga bata. So, kung ano man ang nakakatulong sa kanilang mga cueing system, let them be. Silang nakakaalam ng sarili lang style kung paano sila mag-aaral. Huwag lang naman na yung nagpapanggap na Mama, kasi pa nag-aaral ako, kailangan nanonood ako. Lokohan po yun. Paano ka mag-aaral nanonood ka ng television? Tas K-pop pa. Wala na yan. That's wrong. Alright? So, let's now have, so ito po yung executive function. Dalawa lang po yun ha. Dalawa muna. Response inhibition and then working memory. The rest, the remaining 6, I will discuss that on the next sessions that we will have next week. Alright? So, I will be unboxing. Kia, can I have a full screen? Can I have a full screen? It is to show first the post. So last time I talked about the Learn at Home book, and then I had a smart class, science modules na po ito. It's I'm happy that Vibal came up with modules that are already directly linked with the MLCs, and they're so quick at responding to the need in the field of doing that. So ito po ay talagang eksaktong ano nakalagay si MLC. So let's just go through some of the components. So that I'm now going to unbox the Smart Wizard. Okay, remember things that I discussed last time. Capturable. So i-ganon nyo to para kasi siyempre binayaran nyo yan. So ayaw pa naman ng mga bata na sira-sira. They like it, really neat and all. It must be colorful. like this and attractive because it must be have desirability. Okay, desirability. So the Smart Wizard is more of activities that here. And then the Smart Class, it has snippets of information. So pwede yung i-mesh yung tong dalawang to. Like ito po ay schedule nyo sa umaga, pagdating sa gabi, ito po gagawin ng mga bata. Alright? So let's just run through the material. So this is selling points for the Smart Class series. Okay. It has been designed for distance learning. So teachers out there, I would like you to, I'm encouraging you to visit Vibal's website and look at this materials. It may help you in in this school year. Instead of developing ones, there are already existing ones. So why not use the existing ones, and they already have been evaluated to fit the MELCs or the MELCs. So it follows traditional classroom formula, provision for asynchronous learning, tailor-fit discussion activities for the new normal. So tingnan po natin dito sa Smart Wizard outline. Klarong-klaro ang gagawin. Nandito rin gagawin ng mga bata. And it supports the lessons. Okay, it's the lessons that the school would require your kids to use, like textbooks or the modules that they're requiring from you. So ito ay supplementary materials, makakatulong po sa mga anak. Or if you are independent homeschooling, ibig sabihin, in-enroll ang mga anak ninyo, pwede nyo gamitin ang materials, tapos mag-PPEP na lang sila after the pandemic. It can be done po. It can be done. Next would be the selling points po, continuation po tayo, would be variety of activities for learners, multiple intelligences. It has tasks-based, the Smart Class po natin. Nandito po meron pong dodrawingan, susulatan, and there are some things that they need to learn. So it's a combination of creative and then academic. So kids don't get bored easily with just, writing the words, answering questions. May drawing din ng mga bata dito. Well, marami din pang sa high school din. So ito yung sinasabi ko po na nag-mesh competencies sa mga activities dito. So ano talaga siya, nakamatch po siya. Unlike for the textbooks po, talagang siya, sobrang dami na kung kayo yung magulang, sasabihin nyo na baka hindi na magamit ibang pages. So if you have that kind of misnomer, and then not misnomer, if you have that misgiving of certain textbooks, you may want to ask, can I purchase supplementary materials? If you have already modules, can I at least, for the help of my kids, I would have supplementary materials, but by all means do so. Just visit the website. So these are a sample of the books, very colorful. One, nag-give ibang color for each subject area. Interesting. And then for the parents kasi, may mga comments, and for teachers to use. So how do you usually start the lesson? So it follows a certain flow, starting from motivation, motive questions, some have reviews, and then snippets of information for input based on the textbooks you have and based on the lessons that you have. And then nandun po yung mga sinasabi po natin ng mga marginal notes. So, para sundan po ng bata. Ngayon, kung nandun ang mga magulang, nandun po kayong mga magulang, and may tutor po tayo, they can use the the marginal notes to guide the learner on how to accomplish the activity. Nandun na po mga guides po natin. There's also parents guide though. Later now, we'll show you the parents guide. Okay. Another one would be Smart Class provides opportunities for the following, relating a familiar experience. So most of the activities here are relatable to the common experiences of kids within the age group. So maganda siya kasi na-contextualize siya sa Philippine experiences. All right. It would definitely motivate the students. At kung sa mga magulang, hindi na siya talaga masyadong mag-iisip ng mga activities, nakalagay naman na siya doon. Alright? So, there are sensory guidance, especially for the kids, the younger ones, the Smart Wizard. Marami mga pictures, really colored ones. We have the cartoonish and we have the real pictures, a combination of cartoonist pictures and the real ones. And then it approximates the blue, red, blue writing papers. Alright? So, really easy to traverse from one page to another. Next, we have discussion prompters. Okay, well organized. Okay, there's a way for parents to follow in the parents guide what to do. May storytelling po, kung magaling mag-storytelling si parents at si teachers. Although on storytelling side, please tune in on Monday at Basta may session pa ako sa Monday on storytelling, how it's done. So, inuna ko muna to kasi requirement nga po na si teacher, si nanay, dapat marunong magbago-bago ng boses. Halimbawa, nakalagay dito, basahin ko lang po ng konti. Weight is, di pa rin sabihin lang ng teacher, weight is, ni nanay na, ganito. Weight is the pull of gravity on matter while mass is the amount of matter that an object has. That's boring for kids. Dapat hindi pagbasa natin, mass and weight. Weight is the pull of gravity on matter, while mass is the amount of matter that an object has. So, I will discuss on Monday how these elements, kasi kahit maganda po ang inyong module na kinuha ninyo, kung hindi naman ma-deliver. So, I'm just showing you that the materials have been designed to suit the needs of the learners, pero delivery-wise, si teacher at si nanay dapat marunong mag-deliver. A good storytelling skills and modulation of voices is required for parents and teachers to use so that the books come to life. The modules come to life, and I'll talk about that on Monday. Wag po ngayon kasi ano po tayo, homeschooling and then positive discipline po tayo. I have certain sessions on that. So, pwede pong gamitin po dito yung, we have Smart Alive, pwedeng i-link po visual representation concepts, especially for the mathematics. So yung maps po, nandun na, you don't have to open up another map, other materials, it's there and it's clear. Okay, hindi nga siya, kasi white paper pong ginamit dito. Ito yung sinasabi ko dati pa na sana naman, wag naman yung brown paper, gaya ng panahon namin, brown paper na yung ang papel, tapos sobrang itim pa yung sobrang light ng print, wala na kami nababasa, halos. So talagang hihina kami sa pagbasa, right? And so just to go through with it, the pages, all right? Colored po siya, if there are important information po. So yung mga information breakers has a different color. So nalalaman ng bata na he's moving or she is moving from one information in the module to another. Hindi yung lahat sila naka-black. Ito ay even the texts are colored and some are bold to emphasize certain information. Yung mga naka-bold, yun ang sinasabi natin ng working memory. Naka-bold na siya to help the kids and the learner realize that these are the most important concepts to memorize and to remember. Right? Then it has a formative assessment. Dito malalaman po natin. Now, for parents na hindi alam po yung formative assessment, there is a guide for parents to follow or just to read what's the importance of the formative assessment. Of course, the teachers already know. That's why I'm not going to discuss the formative assessment in detail. There will be probably another session on formative assessment for educators and for parents. So nakalagay na po dito. And then some of the activities here have been already validated. So this is an important thing. Na-validate po yung mga assessment forms and assessment tools dito na ginamit. All right? So just go through it, formative assessment, the parents guide, we have the parents guide too here. I think this is one of the salient points that I like. That's why when I talked to the head of the publishing of Vibal, I said, what I really like about your module is that it has a guide for parents, especially for parents have misgivings towards using materials. Paano ko gagamitin to? Hindi wala namang instructions kung paano gagamitin. Meron pong parents guide. And wait, there's even more. Ito yung gustong-gusto ko. Wait, let me get out of this slide. Sorry, I'm excited. Yan. Sorry. Yan. There you go. Nakikita ko ba? Alright. Ito yung example po ng content matrix for science. Yung sinasabi ko na nakalagay po ang ganda po sana may guide sa mga bata at sa mga bata. Meron na pong nakabigay sa modules po natin na week 1 and 2. Ito yung mga competencies na dapat ma-develop sa iyo, anak. Ito yung week 1 and 2 natin, ha. Sa Libo, itong gagamitin mong smart class, ganitong oras. Tapos, smart wizard naman sa ganitong oras. Tapos, nakalagay note to parents, anong gagawin mo to enhance the activities para sa anak ninyo. Nakalagay, take a tour around the house. Ask your child to list all the examples of matter that he or she could see around him or her. Once you are done with the tour, guide your child in describing each based on its shape, weight, volume, or ease of flow. Keep the list. We will use it on the next lesson. So may nakalagay na guide doon kung paano makakatulong si nanay sa pag-enhance ng mga learnings doon sa module. So hindi lang modules per se, but there is a guide for it. Kaya sabi ko sa kanila nung I was evaluating the modules, I actually requested for the modules. They have modules that I evaluated. Ito yung nakita kong maganda. Although, nung sa una, sabi ko, pakilagyan po ng element na nagsasuggest ka sa mga magulang. Kasi kawawa naman si magulang na siya pang mag-iisip. Bumili na nga ako ng libro, isipin ko pa, hindi naman ako marunong mag-lesson plan and so on and so forth. So if you could but at least give them some suggestions or activities they can do at home, pangbahay lang talaga na makakatulong sa pag-support sa mga modules. Kasi sayang ang binili ng mga materyales, ng mga modules kung hindi naman may enhance. That's why my topic is also enhancing and maximizing the modules. So yan ang mga notes and I think this is one salient point. So plus points po sa nag-design po nito. Ma'am Jen, kudos to you. Shout out po sa iyo. Very good. All right. Let me go back to my slide. It's already 7:56. So just to juxtapose the flow of the activities in the Smart Class and the Smart Wizard, sumusunod po siya sa 6 A's: activity, analysis, abstraction, application, and application assessment. So ito po yung mga parts ng Smart Class, the kickstart, discussion proper, activity, and there's a wrap-up, and long quiz, and peta. So ibig sabihin, kayang sundan ng bata at hindi yung materials na to, yun din ang flow na dapat ng pag-aaral sa schools. So one way or the other, it approximates what they're supposed to do at what they have been doing at school, and now they're doing that at home. So these are some of the activities, the Smart Wizard. So mostly illustrative. And then it also is juxtaposed to the 5 E's. You have the engage, explore, explain, and elaborate. Now, if we also have analysis on the Smart Class and the key features of DepEd K-12. So learner-centered, nasa kickstart po siya. So klarong-klaro po ito. So this is the analysis that the features, the salient features of the Smart Class, okay, the Smart Class and the Smart Wizard. All right. So if you have other materials that you want me to evaluate, just key in the comments and then I will evaluate them. So kagaya po ngayong araw na to, I have sessions next week on storytelling. So I asked Vibal if they have storybooks for kids, and I want it if I can have a copy of those so that I can analyze it first before presenting it. So sana po meron po mga ganun. If you have suggestions what I need to evaluate, especially for the homeschooling at makatulong po sa mga magulang at sa mga teachers in the incoming school opening of school and the school days during the pandemic. So kung makakatulong po ako sa ang Vibal po para sa mag-evaluate, if there are online materials that you would like me to look into, fine, I will oblige po. Basta sabihin nyo lang po sa aking moderator si Kia to look into it. All right? So at this point, I will entertain questions. Hanggang doon muna po tayo sa positive discipline ha. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, ang mga materials, importante po kung anong pinag-uusapan natin, yun po ang nakaangkla doon. Otherwise, no matter how we use the materials and how we select the best materials, and yet we don't have, again, sabi ko nga, wala tayong orientation sa mga magulang, and then we did not help our parents do the time scheduling. Second po, develop executive functions would be inhibitions. And dapat bang bigyan ng mga bata ng rules and regulations at home, approximating the rules and regulations sa school? Yes, kailangan po bigyan po natin sila para makita nila ng bahay po ngayon sa pandemic po ay both learning environment at saka home environment. So come up with balance of it. And I think parents can learn more about how it's done with, of course, the help of your educators and your experts in your school. Questions, I would entertain them right now. So if you have questions.
Yes po, sir. Ayan po. So, let's now proceed to the Q&A part. So, we have here some questions. First po, Doc, is from Miss Lorna May Escabusa. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Ask ko lang on what or how to develop executive, I think, sir, its function effectively, especially for those who has short memory. Thank you.
Short memory para sa bata or para sa adult? Kasi kung sa bata po ito, sabihin natin na short memory, normal mo talaga sa mga bata na short ang kanilang working memory kasi they're still kids, but there should be games for kids muna ang sagot ko ha. Para sa mga bata, maganda po yung mga sinasabi natin ng memory games. Good memory games would be board games like Snake and Ladders. You have uh, ang tawag kasi namin at that time was bitay. Basta board games would be good. You have puzzles would be good too. For kids po ha. Another one would be manipulatives would be good to develop them. But for adults, okay, for adults, what's important is to analyze first what associations can be done. Baka naman kasi baka ang nangyari po sa executive, pag adults kasi mahirap nang ituro ang mga executive functions. What you will do now is to instill discipline first. Huwag pong masyadong negative or pushy ang ating pagsasabi sa kanila ng what to do. So mas maganda po sa adults ay with. Kung may mga kaibigan sila, meron silang positive friends. Minsan kasi yung mga executive functions pagdating sa teenager nawawala dahil nga sa mga kaibigan. So ako nga kasi ang ginagawa ko especially with my kapatid tsaka sa pamangkin kong nasa junior high school na, sabi ko I would appreciate if mas dinadala ng pamangkin ko yung kanyang mga kaibigan sa bahay kasi doon ko nakikilala kasi I would know at you're not negative towards the friends of your children. So importante isama mo rin sila. So feeling kasi ng anak ninyo or yun ng teenager ninyo na maaring siya lang ang gumagawa noon. Feeling niya na na-isolate siya. Baka gusto mong isama ang iba. Pero problema again dahil nga pandemic, paano nga siya bibisita sa bahay nyo? So sabi mo, why not have study time with your barkada through chatting. Now, nagkaroon po kami ng problema before sa Sisters of Mary. Well, before Sisters of Mary, I had some students at De La Salle na may problema talaga sa working memory. So, ang ginawa ko po ay, when I have lectures, I record it. Tapos yung recording po ay, pinapasa ko po sa kanilang cellphones. Tapos, they listen to it. So, they are not constantly listening to it. Dahil nga narinig palagi, one way or the other, nag-improve ang kanilang memory. So you may want to do that, like audio record some of the informations that you want your kids to memorize. Little by little, ma-enhance po ang kanyang memory. Means studies show, Stanford University came up with a good study, ano ang mga rason, ang mga major reasons why individuals or learners right now, the 21st century, is getting shorter than the previous generation. Not because they are stupid, in fact, they are intelligent, dahil po sa sobrang gamit ng gadgets. Bumabagal po ang kanilang, umiikli ang kanilang short term because they rely so much on gadgets. They rely so much na, ay, okay lang, hindi ko na-memorize yan kasi nandun naman yan, i-google ko na lang. Ay, hindi ko na lang i-memorize yan kasi nasa libro naman lahat yon. Ay, hindi ko na yan i-memorize dahil i-remind naman ako ni mama. Alright, so sana there's less over-reliance. So teach your kids to have more memorization activities at home, conversations with your kids, and then lessen over-reliance on gadgets. All right, thank you very much.
Okay po, sir. Second question on the list is from, I think, Miss Ace Alizwell Basilisco Curias. Question po, how will we educators or teachers encourage our dear parents know their crucial roles as parents in implementing positive discipline if they themselves were also encountering behavioral problems?
Good. Ito po yung sinasabi ko dati pa kasi I'm constantly being invited to Cagayan de Oro via Xavier University. At sabi ko sa kanila, parenting skills is one of the things that we need to have for our parents. It's not enough that you just give birth to a child, you get married and give birth to a child, and then it would automatically all the parenting skills would would be absorbed by you. Hindi po ganoon kasi it takes practice. So kailangan din po ng mga magulang ng parenting skills. So to answer the question, paano pong gagawin, ay yung sinasabi ko po, orientation and constant guidance. Kaya nga I appreciate po itong homeschooling na to ng Vibal kasi I know habang tumatagal, may mga katanungan, may mga magulang dyan kasi yung isipin mo madadagdagan ang trabaho ng mga tao sa bahay kasi dati hayahay na sila pag wala na mga bata nasa school na sila, ay, wala na akong gagawin. Ngayon, nasa bahay. Sila pa magpo-monitor noon. So, paano gagawin? There will be, madadagdagan ng trabaho mga magulang ngayon at saka yung mga primary caregivers. So, what I can do, we can have here is that kailangan talaga ng mga magulang ng constant monitoring and constant guidance. Especially, iba po ang maging magulang na nagmo-monitor sa learning ng mga bata. It will be that's a dual role that they'll be coming up, that they will be occupying this coming school year. So gagawin po sana natin, schools, magbigay po sana kayo ng, sige, kung may mga katanungan po kayo, please log on, may group chat po tayo ng ganito for your concerns so that we can answer. Siguro ito po yung support po ng school sa mga bahay. So hindi kakayanin yan ng mga magulang, especially na kung sila mismo ay hindi pa na develop ang executive functions. Ngayon, kung wala sila noon during the course ng na sinusunod ng mga batang schedule, ang tawag ko doon ay magpanggap ka na meron ka noon. Magpanggap ka na disiplinado ka. May panggap ka. Halimbawa, alam mong adik ka sa computer, adik ka tatay o nanay, adik ka sa ML, Mobile Legends, hindi mo talaga makontrol. Alam, magkulong ka sa kwarto mo, huwag mo ipakita na sa oras na nag-aaral ang anak mo, ikaw ay naglalaro. Hindi dapat makita ng anak ninyo na ikaw ang unang sumusuway sa pinag-usapan ninyong rules and regulations. Okay? Kung hindi mo matatago ang iyong mga misbehaviors, anak ninyo, kasi nga, gagayahin kayo eh. Okay? Magtago ka na. Huwag mo ipakita. I know it's wrong na sabihin natin na nagsisinungaling ka, pero that's the only way that you can help your child, okay, to acquire the executive functions and impose positive discipline at home. Magpanggap ka na meron ka niyan. So thank you very much, Ace Alizel. So magpanggap na meron ka niyan, and then kung hindi mo magawa, talagang sakit ng ulo mo, please, the school should have support in helping you. Kung meron po tayo sana mga 24 naka-schedule po na magsasagot, parang call center sa school, na sasagot sa mga tanong ng mga magulang. Sana meron po tayong ngayong sistema. Alright? So thank you, Ace Alizwell Basilisco Curious. That's a good question. Tama nga naman ko. Parang sinasabi mo talaga na maraming mga magulang wala pa neto. Ikaw Thank you very much, Moderator Kia.
Okay po. Yes po, our third question po, Doc, is from Mr. Carl Lee. Good evening, Doc. How about po yung mga kids na mas nakaka-absorb po while playing? Pwede po ba yun gamitin parang incorporate learning while playing po, lalo na po sa toddlers? Thank you po.
Yes, sir. Carl Lee, I don't know kung kasi parang babae at lalaking pangalan. So I would just say yes. I think you are, itong tanong na to kasi siguro mayroong pang early childhood ang dating. Yes. I would say it is more effective that the learning is incorporated with fun, and play is the perspective of fun while they are learning. So I would have sessions on that. I'm sorry, hindi pa ako pala magsi-session on. There will be sessions of Vibal on the incorporation of play, the role of play in the learning process by next week. So hindi ko po sana sisirain. Pero yes po, ang sinasabi ko dito, tumpak po kayo dyan. It's a high positive effect, has a high positive effect on children, not just children even, for teenagers, that learning becomes within the perspective play and via game. They will learn that. Yes. Thank you very much, Carl Lee.
Okay po. Then fourth question po is from Miss Janet Sevilla. How about listening to music while studying the lesson? Is it possible?
Hindi na po tawag natin doon ay multitasking. Ang tawag po natin doon ay learning style. May mga bata kasi na learning styles. Ang tawag po natin ay within the perspective of Suggestopedia, where learning easy po niyang ma-memorize ang concepts o maintindihan ng concepts. There is a music, listen to music. I'm that kind of person too. Mas gusto ko pong may naririnig po ako music. Sometimes nga mas nakakapag-aral pa ako pong maingay. Kaya nga, when I was in college before, and I was taking my MA2 at PNU, nasa Robinsons, Manila. Tapos doon pa ako nag-aaral kasi mas na-absorb ko po, nakakapag-zone in po ako ng inaaral ko pag marami maingay. Pero depende po yan. Kung ganun pong anak ninyo, then hayaan nyo po. Hindi sabihin nyo na, paano ka makakapag-aaral niyan? Ang ingay yung mga nung panahon namin, wag mo ikumpara. Yan ang style ng anak ninyo. Wag mong i-compare. So, kung sa tingin mo naman ay doon siya na mas lalong natututo, then go for it. May kanya-kanya po tayo. Meron namang pong tahimik. Meron naman pong sinasabi ng malakas. Marami naman po na sulat ng sulat ng sulat ng sulat. Iba naman ay drawing ng drawing ng drawing. Iba naman ay encode ng encode ng encode. Kung asan siya komportable, kung saan siya effective, sige po, ipagsige po natin yun po. Doon siya doon siya mas lalong natututo eh. Mas lalong lumalaki ang kanyang working memory. So thank you very much, Janet Civiles. Segi, really difficult family name to pronounce. Is it Kiawit? Kiawit. I think this is not more of a question, it's more of a suggestion. Yes, we allow that. And we have from, yes, Kia, do you have another question?
Okay po. So, Doc, for our last question po, this is from Miss Gertrude Sandoval. Sir, paano po as a parent gagamitin yung 3 booklets ng sabay-sabay? Hindi niya daw po kasi alam kung ano yung unang bubuklatin. Ayun
Opo.
po. Salamat
Ayun,
po.
ito po yung sinasabi ko nga kanina na ang pagkakasunod-sunod po natin dito is mas importante po muna ang smart class before this kasi this one is more of activity based. Nandito po yung mga assessment, other creative activities. Tapos dapat muna po ang smart class kasi nandito po yung input, may mga reminders. Pero I would suggest na meron po pa rin textbooks. And kung wala kayong textbooks, pwede pong gamitin ang Learn at Home kasi mas thorough ang discussion na yon. Dito po ang sinasabi po natin na practice ng mga bata kasi nandito mga formative assessment. Tapos pagdating po sa Smart Wizard, nandito na po yung talagang independent. Okay? Independent na ang bata na lang gagawa. So, kagaya ng pinakita ko kanina sa matrix, meron pong guide which comes first, anong pagkakasunod-sunod at ano ang page. Kaya ngayon ang nagustuhan ko kasi nga all along, sabi ko, paano kung binili ko ito? Tinanong ko kasi sa publishing ng Vibal, paano ko gagamitin ito? Pag kung ako'y magulang, wala akong alam paano which comes first. Sabi na, sir, meron po kami matrix. We call it as content matrix. Ang tawag ko naman doon ay pedagogical matrix na susundan ng mga magulang, anong mauna, anong susunod, at anong page, anong gagawin sa bahay, na nakalagay sa matrix. So yun po ang, I think, the salient points for parents and for educators. Malalesen na po ang planning kesa na maubos ang oras niya na mamamalengke pa kayo, magagawa pa kayo kung kayo ay educator and mother and parent at the same time, ginagawa pa kayo sa bahay at meron pang gagawin sa school. So at least meron nang nakagawa na matrix na ganon. Interpretation assessment is already there. So I think it has been done for you, tailored for you para malaman kung ano ang pagkakasunod-sunod. Thank you very much for that. I'm highly endorsing the modules because as I've evaluated it pasok na pasok talaga sa MELCs. So really, really nice. Again, kung meron pa po kayong gustong pa-evaluate sa akin that I can unbox, I already requested para next week kasi storytelling ako, magpapakita ko paano baguhin ng mga bosses, how storytelling, how to deliver some information to your children. Nag-request na po ako ng other materials from Vibal. So before I present that on Monday, I have to peruse over it and evaluate it within the weekend muna. So thank you very much, Ma'am Gertrude Sandoval for the question. Again, if you want to look into it, nandun po sa website ng, ipapaflash ko mamaya po ang website at saka yung pwede nyong bisitahin. Yes, Kia, my moderator.
Okay po, sir. So, similar question din po yung question po ni Miss Gelda with Miss Gertrude. I think, sir, they just have some questions kung paano po gamitin yung ating academic books, si Smart Class, and si Smart Wizard. Sir, pwede po kaya nating pakita po ulit sa kanila yung ating slides po para po mas malinawan yung ating
Hindi ko
audience.
nalagay sa slide, sobrang laki. Kita ba, Kia? Itong word ko?
Hindi pa po, Doc. Pa-share screen na lang po. Opo.
So kanina nagpakita ako nung tas hindi pa na nakita yon?
Hindi pa po.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ito po yun. Yan. Hindi ito napakita kanina nag-explain ako. Nakikita na po ba?
Yes po, Doc. Okay na po. Kita na po siya.
Ayan. Ito po yung sinasabi na, kaya pala may tanong. Sabi ko, parang may na-present ko yung kanina. Hindi pala na-share screen. Ito po yung nakalagay sa week 1 and 2. Nakalagay po ano po yung learning competencies sa DepEd. Anong gagamitin? Smart Class. Tapos describing matter. Hindi ko lang po nalagay yung page. Pero nakalagay po doon ang page. Tapos Smart Wizard. Doon, susunod po na gagamitin. Tapos anong reference po na textbook. Tapos anong notes parents. Anong gagawin po to enhance and maximize kung anong nagkalang natutunan sa Smart Class sa Smart Wizard. Magkakaroon po kayo ng ganito. So quarter 1, you will have quarter 2. Per week po may guide kayo ng gagawin. Okay, may suggestions po how you can enhance the activities that have been learned by your children using the Smart Class and the Smart Wizard. Sorry po, hindi ko pala ito napakita kanina. Ito po yung in-explain ko kanina. Hindi ko pala na-share screen. Alright, so thanks Kiana. Okay ba?
Yes po sir, kita na po siya.
Thank you. Okay, so ito po siya hanggang week 2. So you will be receiving by quarter what you will be using. So ito po ay para sa science lang po. Later on makakaresi kung science pang ang kinuha ninyo, kung kukuha naman kayo ng other subjects, magkakaroon din kayo ng matrix na ganito. So that you will be guided what to use. Pwede po rin ng mga teachers gumamit nito, ang guides po nito. And then nakalagay din naman po sa mga modules what will be done. Okay, what will be done, may mga notes po for the educators and for the parents, what to be done in each page. So easy to follow. Yes, do we have other questions, Kia?
So far po, Doc, that's all the questions. Sir, pakita lang din po natin sa kanila yung relationship po nito dun po sa ating nasa slides po kanina na ito po yung magagamitin natin na materials. That would be Smart Class, si Smart Wizard po at yung ating academic book.
Here.
Nasa Word pa din po kami, Doc.
Nasa Word ba? So,
Opo.
oh wait, sorry.
Sige
I
po.
have to share screen pala. Pasensya, I'm still struggling with this. Okay. So new share, this one. Share. Kita na ba?
Yes po, Doc. Kita na po siya.
Okay. So ito po yung nakalagay din po kung ito po ay nasa Smart Class po natin, kung activity na po ang activity analysis po at engage explore po, ito po yung sa Smart Class at nandito po naman sa Smart Wizard. So ito po yung mga may matrix po kayo makukuha, tapos ito po yung masusunod po natin. All right? Another one would be the Smart Class and Smart Wizard. Ito po yung features po ng K-12 natin. And then Smart Class, Kickstarter po. While the Smart Wizard po ay illustrative exercises, puzzles, art activities, and experiments. So yung Smart Wizard is more of an extension, enhancement of what they have learned and somehow formatively learned from Smart Classes or Smart Class modules. All right. Do we still have time to answer other questions?
So far po, Doc, that's all the questions that we have. Before we end the session, Doc, do you have any final reminders or instructions to our parents, to our viewers, and other teachers who are watching tonight para po sa ating session and of course to the use of our instructional materials?
Right. Dito tayo sa slide na to. Conclusions and implications. All right. So the implications here right now that I would like you to have a takeaway with would be that the modules are supplementary materials. What we want to create at home as a learning environment and as a home environment is one, make sure that you have clear-cut schedule, which we already discussed last Wednesday, plus the rules and regulations to develop executive functions. Importante po na meron tayong rules and regulations because no matter how good the modules were developed, if it was not followed well and maximized to its optimum use, wala rin pong gamit. Now, as far as the use of the modules, using the Vibal modules, there will be matrices. If you purchase it online, meron po tayong online na pwede niyong puntahan. You can purchase it and then it will come with it the matrices as to the step-by-step ano pong maunang module na gamitin at anong susunod po na gamitin. So the scheduling again, kung anong gagamitin nun ay nakadepende po sa ginawa natin na schedule at home. Ngayon kung independent learning po ito, we will have of course our Vibal publishing people and the edu people will help us with the creating of a very good schedule so that the modules will be utilized. So the smart class and the smart wizard. Mauna muna ang smart class, lalagay sa, halimbawa, alas 10 ng umaga po ito, smart class muna. Pag nagawa ng bata ang page 1, kunwari, meron pong nakalagay dun sa ating matrix na pagdating sa hapon, enhancement na or assessment na, pupunta na po siya sa smart wizard. Nakikita kaya po? Smart wizard. So ang importante po nito is you have a good approximation of the learning environment at home via schedule and via rules and regulations, plus materials that help you and guide you what to do to support the learning of the students. These are key elements that would contribute to a success of learning of your children at home. Of course, do not discount, of course, the help of the educators at school. Tutulong at tutulong po tutulong po sila sa inyo. So please, we are all one here in the learning of our students. And I will end my session with, again, as this is my mantra ever since I became an educator. This is from Hillary Clinton. It takes a village to educate a child. It takes the synergy of efforts of educators, materials developer, the publishing houses, experts out there, consultants like myself, parents like you, to come together and help our learners maximize the learning at home. Because 1 year, pag hindi natin po ito ginawa, sayang po ang isang taon ang masasayang para sa mga bata. Hindi naman natin papayagan na itong pandemic years na po ito ay walang matututunan ng bata. We will do our best that our students get the best education regardless that they are not able to go to school during the years. By that, thank you very much and hope to see you on Monday, which I will be discussing about play, storytelling, and home activities to enhance the literacy skills of your children. Thank you very much and have a good night and happy weekend.
There we have it. Thank you very much po, Doc Aguirre, for this very insightful and fruitful session you had again with us and for the whole week of discussion about our homeschooling kits here in Vibal. Thank you very much, Doc, and we'll see you again next week. And of course, all our Kavibal viewers, thank you very much for spending your night with us. Again, if you're interested to purchase the kits or the materials as stated by Dr. Aguirre, you are free to visit our Vibal shop. That would be at shop.vibalgroup.com. Again, that would be shop.vibalgroup.com. And you can see the products there. Thank you very much to all our Kavibal viewers. Have a good night, everyone, and happy weekend.
Weekend.